I'm worried about Sainz. I'm worried about Sainz. Not me. Not me. JohnWarren is worried about Sainz. That's the name of the video. I'm worried about Sainz. I'm worried about Carlos Sainz. I can understand why you would be worried about Sainz. If you're a Ferrari fan, if you're a Sainz fan, things haven't been going his way these past couple of races. Bad luck. Real bad luck. So I can understand why you would be worried, but where there's bad luck in the beginning, usually it tends to even itself out. You know what I'm saying? So the good luck is coming. So you just gotta wait a little and the good luck will come. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, let's take a look at why JohnWarren is worried about Sainz. Because this should be interesting starting now.
Okay, so it might just be me, but it seems like the 2022 Formula 1 season has been going really slowly. And maybe that's because my favourite driver keeps finishing the race on fire, but still, it's felt like a lot more than 4 rounds we've had so far. And another person who I'm sure 2022 is going slowly for is Carlos Sainz.
Yep.
It seems weird to say he's having a bad season, having taken 2 podiums already, but to me and a lot of other people, it just hasn't looked like the strong seasons he's had in the past. I mean, this is exactly the sort of start that Perez had alongside Max last year, and people were quick to criticise. But it's taken 4 rounds for people to even bat an eyelid about Sainz's struggles. Sainz has had 0 mechanical failures in the races, and yet he has less than half the points of his teammate. And with what is clearly the fastest car at the moment, Sainz should be expected to be at the very least coming 2nd or 3rd every race. Okay, maybe with Max Verstappen as Ferrari's closest rival, that's easier said than done,
Yep.
but still, Leclerc's been competing for the win in every race bar 1 so far. While it seems like Sainz is stuck where Ferrari were last year. If Red Bull didn't have those DNFs ahead of him, Sainz would have finished 3rd twice and DNF'd twice. Admittedly, Imola's result could be blamed a bit more on Ricciardo, but ultimately, if Sainz didn't get such a bad start, he wouldn't have been anywhere near Ricciardo. Although I'm clutching at straws here, and anyone genuinely blaming Sainz for Imola is crazy. But regardless of fault,
Yeah.
I believe that if Ferrari don't win the championship this year, it'll be because of this start to a season. It's just seemed like Sainz has been cracking under the pressure of having a race-winning car and teammate, and maybe he's just pushing a bit too hard to get his first win. Again, easy for me to say from my sofa, but still, I think my point stands. Now, he's just signed a 2-year contract extension with the Scuderia, which might be good news for both parties. The sad thing for Sainz, though, is that he's very quickly turning into a second driver to Leclerc.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ferrari aren't ready to admit it after just 4 rounds, but it's fairly clear to see who Ferrari are backing more. So the question I want to ask in this video is this. Is Carlos Sainz cracking under pressure? Of course, based on this year so far, the simple answer is
Interesting.
yes. Maybe I'll have a bunch of people coming back to this video in December saying,
Maybe.
here after Sainz is the 2022 World Champion.
Maybe.
But realistically, it's either going to be Verstappen or Leclerc, and most likely it'll be the latter. But what about in the future? I mean, he beat Leclerc over the season last year, so to say that Sainz is just a bad driver would be a lie. But still, if you can't handle the pressure of fighting for wins, then you shouldn't be in a top team. Then again, every season is a new chance to reset and forget about the last. So even if Sainz is a clear loser this year, he could still be in with a shot at the next one. But I guess it comes down to the internal structure of the team. Ferrari have always been a team that likes the first and second driver structure, and that could in part explain the struggles of 2019 and 2020, with both drivers trying to be the first driver. If Sainz doesn't pull things together for this year, then I can't really see Ferrari being prepared to let the 2 drivers go into next season on equal footing. Of course, they'll still get the same car and all that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
At least, I hope you do. Anyway, that's not the question I want to answer here. Sainz has made a habit of having difficult starts to seasons, but with that said, he's not appeared to lack pace this year. The issue is that mistakes are starting to creep in, and issues mean DNFs, which means no points, which isn't good. Anyway, I'm milking these DNFs way too much now, so let's talk about pace. To do this, I've found the average pace of each driver in the races, and of course the qualifying times. In Bahrain, Sainz was a 10th off Leclerc in qualifying, and in the race the gap was around 6/10. He finished the race 5.5 seconds off Leclerc following a late safety car. This was sort of the same gap we'd have expected from the two, although maybe the race laps were a little slower than usual. In Saudi Arabia, Sainz was a 10th and a half behind Charles, and in race trim it was about half a second. We obviously can't look at pace in the next 2 races, as he ended both of them in the gravel, and nor can we really look at qualifying pace thanks to his bad lap in Australia and his crash in Imola. So pace-wise, Sainz has at no point been within a 10th of Leclerc, and in the races where he lost more than a lap, it's been around half a second. Now, in a car that probably has 3/10 on the rest of the grid, this would explain why Sainz isn't able to beat Verstappen. Therefore, the conclusion we have to make is that he needs to find 2 or 3/10 in the races.
No, but come on, bro. Come on. The Red Bull car is no scrub. Let's not get that twisted now. The Ferrari is not far ahead of the Red Bull car. And like in the straight line, I believe the Red Bull is faster. You can correct me on that if you think I'm wrong, but in the straight line, I believe the Red Bull is faster. So what I'm saying, that car is no scrub. Let's not get it twisted now. The Ferrari might be a little better, maybe, but the Red Bull is no scrub. Now, let's not get that mad. But let's go.
Truly be the second driver Leclerc needs. But I think the problem is that Sainz knows this. Of course he does. And therefore he's pushing too hard on race starts and on qualifying laps, which is taking him over the edge and into the wall. Of course, being comfortable in the car is the fastest route to delivering a good lap time, and with these two DNFs, Sainz is hardly likely to be comfortable in the car. I think in Miami we can expect him to leave a little margin if and when he's making moves, so as to avoid another DNF. I know this video is very quickly turning into a massive ramble, but another thing to note is that every time Sainz seemingly cracks under pressure, there is more pressure on him the next time he steps into the car. If things don't change, this could very quickly turn into a downward spiral, and no one wants to see that from such a well-liked driver. And because I like him so much, there's only so much I can slander him without feeling bad about it. So let me point out that Sainz scored more points than Leclerc last year, and while of course you can blame some of that on Leclerc's luck, you have to remember that a lot of these things were self-inflicted. Sure, maybe the loss of a win in Britain wasn't Leclerc's fault, but the loss of a potential win in Monaco was wholly on him. If he didn't put it in the wall the day before, then he would probably have still been on pole, and his car would have made it to the race start too. Last year I remember seeing a lot of people saying how Sainz could genuinely be a better driver than Leclerc. And remember, Carlos is still the same driver this year.
Interesting.
Sure, the cars are different, but the drivers are the same. Maybe it's just a case of adjusting to an unfamiliar surrounding for Sainz, and given his tendency to struggle at the start of the season, that could make sense.
Really?
Maybe when we see him fully adapt to the car, he'll be back on terms with Charles. Only time will tell. Right now, though, I think there's a lot of pressure on Carlos's shoulders, and unless he delivers some good results in the next few rounds, I think there will be a lot of worried faces in the Ferrari garage. And I'm not just talking about the mechanics, because with Perez being so close to Verstappen this year, there's every chance that Leclerc could be losing out on wins later in the year without a strong teammate to back him up. I'm writing this video literally the second after the Imola race is finished, so if it's all waffle then please feel free to dislike the video and unsubscribe. Best believe I'll take the hint and stop ignoring this channel as much as I do at the moment. But with that said, if you agree with me and didn't think this was a massive waste of time to listen to, then please do give this video a like. You've probably heard it a million times from YouTubers, but likes and comments on a video mean it'll get shown to more of the right people, and that means more money for me, which will ultimately mean more videos for you. Does that make sense? Yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you all next one.
Yes, sir. That's the end of the video. That's the end of the video. He was spitting a lot of facts there. And I did not realize that Sainz and Leclerc were seen as equals. Was it just me that thought Leclerc was the #1 driver the entire time? You can let me know what you think in the comments, but I feel like it's just me. But yeah, I mean, if he's not seen as a number, like a bona fide #1, and it's a 1A, 1B, then Sainz is underperforming, I guess. I mean, even if Sainz is a #2 driver, he's still underperforming. Because the DNFs, wow, it's really, really unlucky. Because I'm saying he can't control Ricardo coming in and bashing him. Like, I'm saying you can't stop that. He can't control, what was it? The failure of the car in, when was this? In Amsterdam. Like, he can't, was it in Amsterdam? Australia, I believe. Yeah, he can't control that. So, like, some of the stuff that has happened that caused him to DNF is not his fault. But putting himself in that position, not getting like a quick enough pole time to be away from Ricardo, maybe you can argue that's his fault. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're just grasping the straws there. But the thing that I thought was not quite accurate in his deduction was that Sainz should be #2. I don't think the Ferrari is that much faster than the Red Bull. After seeing how Sergio Perez moves in that Red Bull, after seeing how Max moves in that Red Bull has some speed. Like, nothing. The Red Bull is no scrub. I do think the Ferraris are just a little bit better, but that Red Bull is no scrub. So Sainz should be in the top 4. He should finish up in the top 4, but if he wants to be a #1 driver, then he's got to be in that 1-2. He's got to be in that 1-2. He can't be a 3-4. But I don't think he's gonna finish in a 1-2. But so that's tough, man. And I like Sainz. I just don't like him as much as I like Leclerc. But I like Sainz. But yeah, the video is accurate. Sainz is going to be a number 2 next year. What else? And he's not been performing well enough. You know what I mean? Like he's not been performing well enough. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. That's all I have to say. I just rambled for like a good 4 minutes. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.